Okay, next is Beyond the Sea, starring Kevin Spacey and Kate Bosworth. I don't understand why Kate Bosworth was cast in this because she's not that strong of an actress. So you don't know. She wasn't very good in this movie. She played Sandra Dee, who was. This is about Bobby Darin, and Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee were married, and they had a really rough marriage. Not at the beginning, but it got bad later. But I don't understand. I don't understand. Was Kate Bosworth the only blonde actress they could find? Because honestly, the chemistry with Kevin and her was awful, and she's not that good an actress. Kevin Spacey was great. Everyone else in this movie, they were great. But Kate Bosworth, I don't know what they were thinking. I just don't get that. Um, but Kevin Spacey plays Bobby Darin, and Bobby Darin, I really don't know anything about except for Beyond the Sea. I know that song. So I just didn't know, and I actually looked up a lot of some information on him. It was in the movie, so good. Um, he had rhythmic fever, which is like it messes with your internal organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, like other parts of your body too. And he was his complicated. I don't know. It's complicated. His doctor told. I thought it was his mom. Put it that way. Thought it was his mom. Was told that he wouldn't live to be 15. Like he would only live to be maybe 15. Maybe he wouldn't make it that long. But he wasn't given a good diagnosis, and they told his mom that he probably wouldn't live very long, or his mom. And she was like, I don't want to hear about that. But then she taught Bobby the piano, and he started getting into music, and started writing and playing the piano and the guitar and the drums and singing and dancing. And he, when he wasn't sick and bad, he was performing with her in their living room and trying to get his talent developed more. He died when he was 37 years old. And so the problem with him having this disease or his illness was that he knew that at any time that he could die. I mean, it was something that everybody knew. Everyone around him, they knew that there's a possibility that at any time that he could go. So there was always stress for him. There was always a lot of stress for him. And he tried to do everything. Like, he was obsessed with being perfect and winning awards and being the best and being better than everyone that he was competing with, and he pushed himself, and with that, that's why he and his Sandra Dee's marriage fell apart, because he was focusing on his career and he wasn't focusing on her, and they had a son, he wasn't really focusing on them, and he wasn't focusing on who he should be. He was worried about not accomplishing or finishing everything that he had set out to do. So with that, he ruined some relationships, and he kind of cut himself off from a lot of people without really he the people around him understood it, but at the same time it's like you can't constantly be second to someone, like someone's career. It's not something that is some people can handle. So Sandra Dee and him divorced because of that. I wasn't really there for her as much as he should be. But when you watch the movie, you understand where he's coming from. You really understand that he's not meaning to be a jerk or meaning to ignore her or his family. It's just he has obligations to himself. Um, and at the end of it all, he does come around and he does realize that he does need to appreciate people more. Um, and it comes towards the end of his life, but he, but really, not really. I mean, he was 37 and he passed away. And he did so much. He did a lot and he accomplished a lot. But even when he had all the accomplishments, it wasn't enough. He wanted to do more. Um, but yeah, he was very good, and there's a huge twist in this movie. I don't know if I'm gonna, whatever, I'll tell you. Because if you look him up, you'll find out anyway. But, his parents were not his parents, they're his grandparents. And his sister was his mom. So, yeah. There's a whole backstory on that in the movie, and in real life, there's a backstory about that. But I did that, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But it happens a lot. I don't know, like, it's weird. A lot of people in Hollywood and people anywhere have like stories like, well, I found out my dad was my uncle was my dad, or my sister was my mom. Like, you don't understand. Although with this, it makes sense to me, but this situation makes sense when they explain it. Like, oh, okay. But, it's still kind of, yeah. So, I give this actually 4 out of 5 because Kevin Spacey was wonderful, and like I said, all this other supporting cast was wonderful, and the acting was great and everything. But Kate Bosworth is just no. And I give it a 5 thumbs. So yeah. That is good.